Hello, it's your boy Zappa, King of the Giant Robots, and welcome to your tactical forecast for the month of August 2021. If you're here due to the streams, recommendations from YouTube, or more importantly, the Robot Wars 30 reaction, I appreciate you being here. It may seem a bit strange for a channel as small as mine to be putting out a monthly forecast, a list of things that you can expect to see on this channel next month. But if I don't set expectations for myself, I'll slack off and eventually things will end up chaotic and I'll finish nothing and start way too many things. As such, we begin with our primary video game slot, which is every day at noon Central Standard Time. Slot A, which is Monday through Thursday, is Front Mission 3. Front Mission 3 will run until, the 19th, in which it's over. A nice clean ending at the end of the week. A nice clean 40 episodes. Gotta love it. Our B game, which will move up into the A slot, alternating on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, that is every other weekend, is Super Robot Wars Alpha 2. Our third game, our C slot, which is on the other weekends, is Super Robot Wars XO. Now that Front Mission's wrapped up, Robot Wars Alpha 2 will move up to the Monday through Thursday slot at the end of the month. XO's schedule will not change, but that just means it's in the B position. And I'm going to leave you to be excited for what comes after that. That is to say, we'll be wrapping up a game that has been on the channel very infrequently. We have a secondary upload slot at 3 p.m. every Friday, which is the whatever the heck I feel like playing slot, which is actually just more of a couple of games that I started and now I should focus. It will be Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, as well as Super Robot Wars F. These will just come out on any given Friday, alternating. Another game might slide its way in there by accident. On Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time is what I like to consider your Saturday afternoon movie. A longer form, more RPG style Let's Play akin to the olden days, when once Saturday morning cartoons were over, it was time for those weird sci-fi or kung fu movies to come on, and you either sat home to watch them or you went out to play. As such, those following games are Sailor Moon the RPG, another story, the fan translation from last year, which will actually wrap up in this final episode. We also begin Final Fantasy 1. Now the weird thing here is that not but a few days ago, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters for 1, 2, and 3 all came out. When I recorded this first episode of Final Fantasy on the Wonder Swan, I didn't even know those existed. Those hadn't been announced yet. I think it was days after I had recorded and uploaded that they were announced. And now they're here. So, well, enjoy the comparison from the new Pixel remaster to the weird step in between the Nintendo and the Game Boy Advance or PSP remake, whichever is the one that you're more familiar with. We also have Final Fantasy VI: The Eternal Crystals, a Final Fantasy ROM hack that implements more concepts from Final Fantasy 4 and 5 into 6, thereby kind of making it feel like a sequel or a tribute. And the last of the Saturday afternoon movies is Omori. I feel with this we're coming upon endgame, so I can see perhaps the next episode this month, which I have yet to record at this juncture, or the next episode beyond that should be the end. And then the big special the thing that if you search Google for Real Robot Battle Line, I come up for my one-man translation project of Real Robot Battle Line will be up every Sunday at 3 p.m. If so happens that there is no upload or no episode of Real Robot Battle Line on that Sunday, that means I'm just having a little extra trouble with the translation process because I'm only using Logic and Google Translate off of my phone. It's a very interesting project and the game is not short at all. While a single route can only run about 30 stages, there's 6 routes in total. There are 6 endings to collect. Can I collect them all? Somebody has to. That being said, I'll be sure to throw something in there if I so happen to miss a Sunday of Real Battle Line. As of lately, I've finally gotten back into streaming other games. On the channel, I recently played Mega Man 4, thanks to the King of Space. I played a little bit of Metal Unit, which is a roguelike, which is not what I expected it to be. I expected a platformer action game with a linear story, not a roguelike, which it's fine, but it just doesn't... there's nothing wrong with it, except for I'm not the most keen on roguelikes. It's still an enjoyable game, just roguelikes aren't for me, so whether or not I play it again is very much questionable. And also I've been playing, quite enjoyably, a bit of Dead by Daylight. Sometimes with friends, sometimes solamente. Alas. So, let's talk a little bit about Super Robot Wars 30. In all of my predictions, and you can go back and check this from the previous month, I got half of 2 things. I had asked that one of the obscure the Compact 3 Quartet come back. And we got halfway there with Gal Gar vs. Better Man. I haven't read that. I don't know how much Better Man is actually in that. But we got halfway there. Maybe we'll get a cameo or something. I don't know anything about that manga. And the other half thing I want to say that I got right is bringing back a weird mechanic. Now, I watched the entire 4-hour event with me and a friend of mine did, and what I don't like and what makes sense is that they mentioned that the route selection system that they're bringing back was featured in MX and Impact. Yes, this is true, but several games of Compact came before that. Compact 1 had the route selection system. Compact 2, all 3 parts, which make up Impact, had that. But who is to say in this day and age, in this era, this generation, that anyone besides some weirdo like me and some other hardcore Japanese retro gamers even remember the Wonder Swan at all? As such, speaking of the Wonder Swan, I recently uploaded a video that I think there's a little bit of room for improvement there, where I managed almost the best capture you could get for the Wonder Swan directly. The headphone jack, that is a very expensive accessory to add onto your Wonder Swan. I managed to find an audio in cable, so I plugged that directly into the camera that I've used for various unboxings and other videos. And I can get direct audio into that. Recording the video is obviously the hard part, and in the video that we saw that I uploaded, I could use a more stable stand. That is the stand that I'm using to just hold my phone while I'm translating. It's flexible, so it's good enough for that task. If you, the viewers, are interested in me directly capturing from a customized backlit Wonder Swan, please let me know in the comments. And if such a thing doesn't interest you, then we will proceed forward with emulation. I'll have to play Compact 2 in hand on the side while I do that Let's Play, when I do that Let's Play. So I can at least share with everyone how to transfer the data for people who have both the emulation and the hardware capabilities. That said, I want to try to focus a bit more on finishing some of the games that I've started, which is why you'll see at the end of Front Mission 3, I did not spin the giant roulette of other video games. Instead, I spun a personal roulette. It was just some of the games that I have on Friday, and one of those was chosen. I'm sure you can go back through my channel and deduce which one it was, which is fine. I would like to wrap that up before I start another game, which is most likely going to be another Super Robot Wars. Also, now, as of now, I've collected at least one of every book for every Super Robot Wars game that has a perfect Bible. Unfortunately, there are no Bibles for HD, the first game, the second game on Famicom, or OE, which I think of all of those, OE would be the weird one that doesn't have a guide for it. It was on the PlayStation Portable, but I guess the nature of how it was released and produced, spoilers? That book would have to come out like months and months and months after everything on the game was released, so I can see why that game doesn't have a book. But what that means to you, the viewer, is that I feel confident enough to put every Super Robot Wars game on the roulette of games that I could play next. At least on the regular daily uploads. Now, there are some games that have a higher priority, like I felt XL had a higher priority over GC because I spent money on that console. I feel that Alpha 3 needs to come after Alpha 2 once that game is wrapped up. And because of the way that I upload now and I have my schedule, it's not going from one game. It's going from one game to the next, but there's also other games so that I don't get burnt out. Which is why I put a game in between Alpha and Alpha 2. At the same time, certain other games would have more precedence, such as playing Compact 1 in color over regular Compact, playing the first Maso Kishin game over literally any of the others. I feel like that's a set of games that I should, play in order. Some games I probably won't play a second time. I don't know why I have hiccups all of a sudden. It's very rude, very distracting. What is looking up at my shelf of everything? I wouldn't play MX twice. When MX comes up, it's either going to be original PlayStation 2 or portable, and that'll be that. I won't play translated games twice, like once in English, once in Japanese, so 2, 3, EX, A, or A portable as it were. A portable is the weird one. Due to what I hear, due to what I've seen, I think I would rather play A on the Game Boy Advance over A portable, despite that it's translated. Because I want to enjoy a game. I don't want to grow frustrated at the video game. Even though you see me plenty of times get frustrated at Ye game. But words are difficult. I have the ability to play everything. I have the ability to capture what I can capture. The DS, the 3DS, and the Wonder Swans are the ones that I absolutely have to emulate. The same case would be if I were to play OGs in English. There's so many Robot Wars games and so many other mecha and tactical games and just video games I want to play. I am the kind of person that is wrought with the paralysis of choice. Ergo, a roulette. Ergo, having some external RNG force choose for me. Now, when it comes to the next game that wraps up, which will probably be in several months at this juncture, odds are that because I've already started F will take a very high priority in regards to that being on the roulette wheel and a couple other smatterings there at the same time. But I think I've rambled on long enough for y'all. Please, let's have a discussion in the comments below. Perhaps you have a Robot Wars game that you would like to see me play. I do my best to make it as hype as possible. I have books for everything, so there's no excuse for me to miss a secret. I also contribute to the wiki, so at the same time, I'll be making modifications there. If there is a translation guide or a translation patch, I'll try to work that in as best as I possibly can. I've done this in the past, and I'll continue to do so in the future. But one more thing I will say as a future plan. I have a physical copy of the Singapore/English version of Robot Wars 30 pre-ordered, physical copy ready to ship to my door. However, because of shipping and due to the nature of everyone's going to be after it, everyone's going to want them views, I will begin Robot Wars 30 on either October 29th or October 30th. Depends on how fast I can get that first episode ready to go. I'll have the intro graphics ready to go. I'll have thumbnails ready to go long before, because I can find assets for that. I can make that happen. But the first episode will either go up on the 29th, maybe late, or on the 30th. And just for the sake of it, I will drop every other main game, put them on hold, pause them as they are. Let's play Super Robot Wars 30 blind as fuck. I will not be looking at the wiki. I will not be looking at other Let's Plays except for episodes that I have already played. I will not be watching. Okay, I might be around for one person's stream, but if they're playing it as soon as I think they're going to play it, they're going to be going in as blind as I am, or so I hope. The point is, if there are any secrets or unlocks or the route that gets me to the units that I want first and fastest, please don't spoil me. Please don't comment in the below saying, oh, you missed the skill point by not doing this. You missed the attack point bonus by not doing that. You missed. I don't care what I miss. I want the genuine first impression reaction without knowing what's coming in the next stage. I'll get the Bible eventually, because they're going to have to release that shit too. But I want to go in as blind as I can go in. Like, I've never done that before. I've always been lucky enough that my copy of Robot Wars gets to me late enough that at least a basic flowchart with all the secrets and skill points is already available. It happened for VTX, it happened for Z. I want to go in blind on 30. But I thank y'all for watching. Please stay tuned for more giant robot antics, video games, sometimes unboxings, and, you know, other stuff with giant robots and other retro video games. And as always, good night, Space.